Hello, my name is Emily, and I'm here this afternoon to talk to you about this website or this Etsy store. It's called Odulcina, but she pronounces it Odulcina or something. She pronounces it very fast. And I have bought her houses, so houses isn't a part of her name. This is the name. And she has really been putting a lot of things on YouTube. Her channel stays. She works pretty hard to make sure that that she has some really good things. And the houses that I got kind of look like these. Here's some on the back. Of course, this is on pink paper, so you can't see that as well. But and here's one that's on white paper. But these are what the houses look like, the kits. And then there's other things besides the houses but she's been doing a lot of really interesting things with her houses, and I kind of wanted to show you how I used her houses. So I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to pull out some of the books or the houses, the little miniature books that I've made with her houses. And this is what, this is how she has it. She's got windows that go with it, a door, and then she takes and cuts them out, in the shape, and then she makes it into a tiny little book like this. And here's some that I ran off the shape of the house on a piece of paper that had this design on it, or used an Etsy seller's digital kit. But she has several, and they're really, really pretty and cute, and you can just take and do all sorts of little books and use them for just a lot of different things. So this is one, and I'll briefly show you a couple of others. This is one that's just a fold out. This is one that I actually took and used some, made into pages. And I actually just staple, or actually in this case, I just sewed on the machine because they're thin enough that you can, empty them out, or, but just using a variety of different pages. I have all, how we collect all kinds of cut pages, and we can't throw them away because we know we can use them again. So I've been trying to take some of the used sheets, smaller sheets of work that is left over, and then like you can put a pocket in it if you want to. But I've been using up some of my stash of, let's see, this one I haven't finished. I wanted to try to figure out something to put on the top. But really, really neat and interesting little concept that you can use it in Happy Mail, or you can use it, as an addition to a book, or even make it thin enough to put in a pocket of a book. But just really, really cute. Another idea that she had that I thought was really neat is she makes these little, what she calls sample kits. And she takes pieces of cereal paper and, let's see, I know I'm getting a little bit of a glare. She takes pieces of cereal paper and puts it on the top of this is a little coaster. And then she actually puts or glues a little tab on it, and then you can use the tab as a tag in a book, or you can use it, you can decorate it and kind of use it for those reasons. So I've done several of those using the different, and then she took pieces of flower, doilies, kind of, and then I put a piece of upholstery fabric on the back, backed it with something else, and it just, decorated it a little bit. It's just really interesting what her idea, just you know, she suggested sewing around the edges, which I did. On some of them, on not all of them. I didn't sew around this because it just worked that I could use this particular piece without anything. And this right here, you know, kind of blending together some different colors. Another doily, or piece of sewn, partially sewn piece. So that's another idea that I thought that she had done a really good job on. I also ran across another way to use some pieces of muslin to sew two pieces of like, say, postcards. And by putting the postcard and putting about a half, or actually it's more like 1.5 inches, and I sewed down both sides, and it really takes a postcard and gives it a new look in a book. So I've done a couple of postcards. I did it with some Project Life cards. So here's a couple of more Project Life cards. But, you know, it makes a Project Life card a book page fairly nicely. And then I did it with some, I took, this is Theodosia Square, which is just really a great page, packet. Theodosia Square is what it's called. But the pages are thin and they're only one-sided. So I'm using as many as I can for putting together, making these little envelopes and adding and putting them in, which would make them books, you know, that you just use it as a book page. So, and then another idea that I found is using Velcro to make like fold out like this, and you add the pages. This is actually what is this called? Graphic 45 is what it's called. This particular one, I'm not quite sure what the name of the I think it has something to do with children, or maybe Mother Goose, or spring, or children. But it's really a cute package, and it is two-sided, so it's very easy to make. And then what I did was I put acetate as the pockets, and then, you know, use so it's three. This particular side has some pages that you can write on. This particular side has a pocket that you can use. And then these are how you, so I made several of those, of which I'll show you these two. And there's the pages, and I also added a little pocket here, and I have a little pocket here, so that it just makes really cute little gifts. Simple thank you gifts or whatever. And again, I just was using up some of my Graphic 45 papers. And then this is another example of taking these kinds of tabs and making little notebook. It's kind of a knockoff of a matchbook. And then I put, by joining them together, I had this set of papers that I wanted to use for something. And so I did that to come up with that as an example. And then here's another one where you tie it. You just color coordinate. And it has the pages in it. Pretty simple, but this was just using the eyelets And then here's some that just don't really have a closing. But I put 2 pockets in each one of these. So 2 sets of pockets. So this set of pockets. And then further on down, this set of pockets. But again, it's all coordinating paper packs. And you can use the front or the back to write on. So I did that, and then I did this with another color of kind of a seafoam green. And I found this really neat tiny piece of fabric that went with it, so I added that. And then these are some of them that I did using different sizes of matchbooks. And that I just stapled right there. And just took little scraps of paper from my leftover scraps of paper that you just can't throw away. But gosh, you can make really little things out of them. And this is just an example of how simple. I mean, these don't take long at all. It's just a matter of cutting your paper that's left over and making it into. I made them bigger than an average matchbook because regular matchbooks are so tiny, and I just thought you would need to have a little bit more writing space in there. And then I also made them bigger. Here's some that are bigger, kind of large matchbook. These I sewed the bottom, but they fit in there nicely. Again, think of all the pages that you're using up. Complementing, pages that you can use. So, really, some of the paper's really pretty. If it's double-sided, even better. Because you can use the two-sided paper. And then just some little books that use little pieces of paper out of your box of scraps. And then you can do them into any different type of shape. So those are some of the things. So I suggest that you go into this I can't pronounce it, but she pronounces it very freely, but it's Odulcina. And again, this is just my houses that I bought. I bought with the kit with the houses. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon.